A delegation from the group of West African nations known as ECOWAS arrived in Niger Saturday on a last-ditch diplomatic effort to reach a peaceful solution with mutinous soldiers who ousted the country's president last month. They were joined by the UN Special Representative for West Africa, Leonardo Santos Sameo, who's trying to facilitate a resolution to the ongoing crisis. ECOWAS is also fine-tuning a military intervention plan should no diplomatic solution emerge, but there appears to be no shortage of volunteers in Niger who'd oppose any military force.
Je vais soutenir vraiment nos militaires, raison pour laquelle je me suis lancé dans ce combat.
Je suis là pour le recrutement parce que je fais un bon militaire pour mon pays, quoi.
Neighbouring Mali and Burkina Faso have also warned they would consider any intervention in Niger an act of war.
Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, you Akimate that push this word in truth and in sincerity. Hey, you got these nations coming up against America, coming up against the colonization of Africa, the whole continent. I mean, it's different. That land that's a great landmass of different countries in that one particular continent. And guess what? It's been colonized by the French, by the Americans, by Great Britain. And these nations are sick and tired. And these African nations over there are sick and tired of being one of the wealthiest nations in America. Like Nigeria is one of the wealthiest nations in Africa, rich in uranium, gold, silver, and other precious metals and other resources, but yet the people are living in poverty. Who's really benefiting of all the wealth of Niger? It's really called Niger, but they don't want to say nigger. So they say Niger. So all these different nations are coming together and want to kick out the Europeans, want to kick the Edomites out, Esau, Edom out of their land. Because they know that, all right, you're not over here to help us. You're over here to rob, pillage, and destroy. And destroy our families. Bringing that Babylon juice. Bringing your so-called democracy. But meanwhile, behind that rhetoric that you spewing out of your pie hole saying is democracy, you still in our resources. And we in poverty. Here it is, we rich in resources, but you over here stealing all our resources and we poor. How that look? So they're starting to wake up. These different nations are starting to wake up and see that America and the West, mainly America, because America is the leading nation that's leading the West. America is that empire that's leading the West, should I say, and they paved the way for all the philosophies, that democracy that's being spread throughout the four corners of the earth. And this is the Lord's doing. So I'm going to get a few scriptures. I'm not going to make this lesson too long. Abarat you Akimate will be edified. So we're going to get into it. This is Jeremiah 51 verse 7, and it reads, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. We all know that Babylon is America. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. How did that cup that was in America's hand make all the nations drunk? Do they philosophies pushing that democracy, also pushing feminism, pushing the alphabet community, pushing all that Babylon juice that was meant to destroy you. But it seems good because they're giving you the benefits, the money. They're giving you aid, so-called aid, so you could take on Babylon, so you could take on their philosophies, so you could sell your people out and be a puppet unto these different European nations. Now for years, the president of Nigeria was a puppet to the French government. But now what they did was it was a military coup. So America had to say a military coup, and they overdo that puppet that was being a slave to the France government, and they put it, and the military took over. Now it's like they committed a ferocious act, an act of rebellion against the Western nations that's over there, sucking them dry for their resources. You see, what we have here is an open rebellion with all these different nations looking at America and the West as if, listen, man, we got backing by Russia, and Russia is promising us to give us all we need militarily and financially to help us. So they're going to lean towards China and lean towards Russia because they being helped. China is over there building up certain parts of Africa, but hey, you know, at a cost. But at least they're not stealing their resources. They're giving them a fair shake. But these devils, man, and we're going to, hey man, I'm not going to go ahead of the video, but these devils, man, they slick and conniving and treacherous. So it says back in Jeremiah 51 verse 7, Babylon have been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. They made the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. They have drunken and tasted that philosophy of democracy. They have drunken that philosophy down, which is democracy. And what happened? The destruction of their family. The women started bucking up against them with this feminist crap that they pushing over there. The alphabet community, they're trying to push heavy over there. And a lot of them Hamitic nations, which is a lot of them are Jake over there, they ain't with that. They're not with having a woman ruling over them, bucking up against them, twerking, doing all manner of wickedness. It's a different atmosphere over there. So now they're saying that all this right here, we took on democracy and we took your aid, your so-called aid, just to be humiliated, to be robbed, pillaged. Our women come up against us, destroying our family. We gotta accept the alphabet community. We gotta accept that moral agenda that you pushing over there in America and in the West. We're not with that. And these nations are mad. They're like, nah, man. Nah, they're starting to wake up to the bullshit of America and the West. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Because the economy is collapsing, it's circling the drain, and all these different nations are putting their applications in to join the BRICS. The BRICS consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And you got all these different other nations like Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti, Saudi Arabia put their applications in, Iran, all these over 40 countries put their application in to ditch the dollar and join the BRICS, because the BRICS, their currency is backed by gold. It's not a fiat currency backed by your faith that is going to carry you, and your faith that is going to make you, how can I put it? The faith in that, is going to carry you, in the faith that is going to, secure you in the long run. Nah, it's not backed by anything. That's that ancient Babylonian money magic system that they adopted from the ancient Babylonians, creating money out of thin air. But meanwhile, the BRICS got a currency that's backed by gold, and it's set to be launched by November 1st. And we're going to see. It's all hell is going to break loose, man. Once these Americans realize that their dollar, the BRICS dollar, whatever they're going to call it, is going to be $50 or $55 compared to $1, if I'm saying it right, to the U.S. So these nations are starting to head towards that BRICS, the BRICS, for much more comfortable, stable dollar, what we're going to call it. So America's not going to be held because the economy is collapsing. They losing their world reserve currency status to the BRICS. The infrastructure, the morale of America is at an all-time low. So there's no healing in this country, man. We would have healed Babylon. This is Jeremiah 51 verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. All these different nations that was making money over here in America, they're going to pack up. They're going to pack up and just leave shop and head to their country, man. All the rich they done made over here, they're going to benefit over there in their country. Hey, man, we're at the end of this devil's empire, and it's showing. Each and every day, these different nations are bucking up against the colonization of their country, of the bullshit of America and the West. And they can see through, and this internet is making everything so plain. They see through the bullshit of America now. They see through the bullshit of this country. And it's crazy. They see through it. We see through it. Everybody see through it. You know? And that's it, man. This country is on its last leg, and there's nothing the American government can do about it to save this goddamn bitch. Because that's exactly what it is. It's damned by the Lord. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country, for her judgments reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. What's the judgment of America? To be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. But before the destruction comes by thermonuclear fire, the economy is going to go down the drain. The morale and everything you see in America that was so-called the beacon of light is going to be deemed poisonous. And nobody going to want to deal with this society because it's corrupt, it's wicked. They cast spells on people by the means of witchcraft, through their TV, their media. It says, verse 10, the Lord hath brought forth his righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. And that's exactly what the elect is doing. We declaring the works of the Most High, and we going out there in the highways and the byways, and we condemning Esau for all the wickedness that he has done and he's doing. And we putting videos up week in and week out. We go out week in and week out. We put videos up throughout the week. You know, and Esau is starting to get shaken by it. It says, make bright the arrows, which are the nuclear missiles, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy. Who's the spirit of the king of the Medes? The Russians. Because when the Medes, the ancient Medo-Persian Empire was at the Medes, they was occupying that land at that particular time. So the Russians are the modern day Medes. But for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen. Who are the watchmen? The prophets that you see out there in the highways and the byways. The prophets that you see videos going up week in and week out throughout the week. There's multiple videos. You cannot keep up with the videos that's being pushed by Great Millstone alone. How about the other camps out there? So it says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath devised and done that which he has spake against the inhabitants of Babylon, which is total destruction. Total destruction. All these nations looking at America like, hey, man, we not scared of you no more. We got the backing of Russia. Some of these different nations, like North Korea and Iran, they have nuclear technology now. So they no longer shook of America. Now they thumbing their nose up and bucking up against America because they got the same weapons that could destroy America, like America got weapons that can destroy them. So these nations looking at America like, hey, man, we not scared of you no more, man. We are not scared of you no more. So you can go ahead with that bullshit. Because we are not scared of you. This is Obadiah. Let me see. Let me read a little something from Obadiah, then I'm going to close it out. Salakia. I just thought about it, size. Let me just get it, because the Most High made Esau small amongst the heathen. So this is Obadiah chapter, the first chapter, the first verse. And we'll read a couple of verses. Then I'm going to close it out. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, concerning Edom, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent. Who's the ambassador? The ambassador is the prophets, the teachers, and the men of the Lord that's out there in the highways and the byways, pushing the word in truth, giving you 100% truth and the sincerity. It says, we have heard of the rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Jeremiah 50 verse 9. These are the nations that's come up against America and rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. So the Lord has allowed these different small nations, these different inferior nations to America to acquire that nuclear bomb, to acquire hypersonic, supersonic, ICBM nuclear missiles, and now there's an equal playing field now. Also, they are backed by Russia and China, nuclear powers. So now, you're not the big bully in the block no more. It says, verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee, which is America, small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. They hate America, man. These nations hate America. They call it a great Satan. It says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, because you had a great military. The Lord allowed you to have the Lord bless you with a great military, because your blessing was the sword and having the fatness of the earth. So you got built up in pride. It says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks. It's showing you what it's talking about. And what they call themselves, Caucasian. That word means cave dweller. So these devils, man, the Bible was spot on with you devils, man. It says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because you a proud devil. And your military is advanced, where they got laser weapons, energy weapons that could create fires. You got HARP. You got all these different devastating weapons that you think that you is God, that no one could bring you down. But guess what? The Lord is going to crack them skies and kick your ass and bring you down. And we're going to slap chains on your bitch asses. It says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, this will I bring thee down. You got your, first and foremost, your symbol is the eagle. Going back to the Greeks, the Romans. I'm saying the Greeks, the Romans, even Adolf Hitler had the symbol of the eagle. Now in America had the symbol of the eagle. That's your symbol, man. It says, Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, your international space station, your satellites, set your nest amongst the stars. Then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So you going down, man. There's no way around it. You going down. You like to pillage, rob, rape, and murder. And it says back in verse 5, if these come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut down? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? But these devils, they keep on taking and taking and taking and pillaging and robbing and raping and taking resources. They can never have enough, man. These devils are just greedy, satanic beings, man. So it says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out through the internet, through the prophets? Start with the apostles on down. The apostles on down, they're exposing you through this Bible, through this truth. You've been exposed, devil, and you can't hide it. That's why you mad as hell, man. That's why you mad as hell. That's why you take our videos down. You flag us. You send sellouts to come up against us, to distort the truth, to try to debunk what we're saying, like people like Vocab and his cronies. But it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sorted up? Because you're being exposed through the internet. It says, all the men of thy confederacy, all your allies, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, taking your financial aid that you give up, it's another way of bribery, but you're giving them financial aid, sending them billions of dollars every year, every month, however you do it. Just pushing that fiat currency that's worth nothing. That's why you so freely give out that aid. It says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Amen. These devils, hey, you're bit of more than you can chew. And now you got to swallow that. Because now these nations are waking up to your bullshit. They tired of you. And they want you out of the way. They want you out of the way. Do you understand that? Are you comprehending why these nations are coming up against you? Because you are the fucking devil. You being exposed on who you truly are. And nobody want to deal with you no more. So with that, I got to take this call. I'm going to say shalom.